Oh, what's up?
Hey.
Long time no see, brother.
How are you?
How you doing?
Oh. I'm so happy for you, man.
Hey!
I'm so happy for all the...
I know, I'm
the
happy.
success,
I'm happy
bro.
you're here. It's gonna be a cool story to talk about today.
It's gonna be great.
I met you 6 years ago. I went to your office. I didn't even know how to trade futures. You actually were like the guy that like, Patrick, you gotta trade futures. I'm like, Steve, I don't know, it's scary. You're like, there's nothing to be scared of. Just start trading, get into it. And that's kind of where it all began.
Well, first of all, I have to say thank you for inviting me. The second thing I want to say is, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Really. I'm so happy of all the good fortunes that have happened to you, your beautiful son, your beautiful person in your life, and your success. And that means the world to me, really. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Really
no,
does.
hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Steve. I was like, you messaged me about having lunch, and I was like, let's do the BDH instead.
Yeah.
Because I know we're going to talk about everything anyway, so I'm like, let's talk
Oh,
about
right.
it
So much to talk about.
in the public. You know, let the world see kind of the story of it all. My bread and butter right now has been the 15-minute opening range.
You know, when I first started, everything was the opening range. You know, people would say, okay, you know, if it broke out from the opening range, I'll buy it here. And right now, the math and the way the algorithms are working right now, the way I look at everything is all based upon divergence pattern.
Yeah.
So today coming in, I knew there were monster divergences on the bigger time frame. So any rallies, I say let them have them. And when they pushed up through 6,000 and they failed, you saw the drop. They were all divergences.
Yeah.
It's all based upon the market conditions on liquidity and on divergences. And that's how I look at the market.
It comes to news, headlines, all that. Do you care much about it,
I
or?
wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah.
I let the number come out.
So this morning you were kind of looking at the market like,
I was bearish on every new high. I had huge sell divergences on the 30 and 60-minute time frames, and I just told my audience last night, I said, let them have them.
yeah,
I said,
don't go chasing it.
no way.
How are you feeling just recently when we were selling off massively? Were you bullish, like long term, obviously?
When we hit that 61, 66 level, my target was 61.80, and I said, we're going to get a pullback to 5,700, and people
Yeah.
thought I was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then when we pushed down to like 48.32 on that Sunday night, and I said, they're not breaking 4,800, that's the breakout level. We were like almost 700 points from the moving average on my work. And I said, we're going to rally here sharply. And we did.
You know, we had that big drop. Retail was bullish. It gets lower and lower. Everyone turns bearish. It starts pushing back up, and everyone's like, oh, it's time to buy puts.
This is the first time I can honestly tell you in my 41-year career that the retail public actually was buying massively on that drop.
Yeah. It's hard not to, because you just know long term, if you're investing in quality companies, like they're going to go back up.
I look at this as a way of saying the game's too big to fail.
Yeah. USA's too big to fail.
Print more, cut interest rates. So
That's what people
whatever
don't
they
understand too, is like whenever they're printing more money, stocks are more valuable, because stocks there's finite. They're not printing stock every day, but they're printing money that buys stocks. So that's why obviously the value of stocks go up over time because of
It's just-
inflation. Your tips on divergence. I think a good question is it just like simply black and white?
Oh,
or is
absolutely.
there's a lot more to it, right though?
Well, there is. Like, for example, I look at divergences when I look at my multiple time frames, 15, 30, and hourly, and using my indicators I have, like yesterday, for example, when the S&Ps printed the 59.99 level, we were making new highs, MACDs didn't confirm, and then the other oscillator, my overbought, oversold oscillator, was getting overbought into the negative MACDs, and I said, let them have them. And within no time, they dropped like 25 points on the S&P.
Yeah.
So there's different variances of divergences that I use.
And you're looking for divergence between like the ES, the NASDAQ,
Oh, yeah.
different indices, right?
Yeah, so basically I do what's called correlation studies between the continuous contract futures markets and the underlying ETFs. So the continuous contracts trade nearly 24 hours in a day, so the math is completely different using the underlying ETF, which is regular session from 9:30 to 4. When they align, you better be going in that direction.
I get this question a lot. What do you suggest for traders who are gun shy? If you don't want to pull the trigger, what do you do?
Well, you have to have confidence, number one. My 5 key words is consistency, discipline, confidence, patience, and passion, right? You know, just hitting singles and doubles. I tell people all the time, you know, because I got drafted out of high school to play baseball, and if you're going to trade, try to be these type of players, Pete Rose and Rod Carew, always on base, always hitting singles and doubles. You know, when you're trading prop, you always want to keep going. Set your goals for the day. The freaking market has no soul. And if you could take money out of the market every single day, I have people, you know, who have 4, 5, 10, 20 accounts. They make $500 a day on 5 accounts, $2,500. I'm even happy with people just making $50 to $100 a day. That helps change their lives. And that's why I'm doing this, because that's why you're doing this.
That and sports cars.
I do a lot of scalp trading, but you know, when the pattern's set up, like last night during the Tokyo session, there was a beautiful pattern off the 15-minute time frame, and and I told the person this thing's going to drop minimum 5 to 8 handles, and it dropped exactly 8 handles on this.
Yeah.
So you have to know the pattern. The time frames I look at 5, 15, 30, 60, and hourly. Normally the trades last anywhere from 1 to 8 bars. So I don't look at candles, I look at bar data. So anywhere from 1 minute to 40 minutes, and within 35 minutes. Sometimes you let them ride. Sometimes it depends.
You get stopped out on a short and it starts pushing back up, or you just like right away like, all right, I'm looking
I'll go
for
right back in. I'm not letting that bastard beat me. Crazy. No way. 1979. So he says to me, I want you to take a day off from work, and I want you to come to work with me. Walk up the stairs of the American Stock Exchange, and I'll meet you there. All of a sudden, I just got a rush in my whole body. I said, man, I love this shit. Every day is going to be a different day.
Yeah, it is. You never know what you're going to get.
The fact that you can challenge yourself every single day.
And you've pretty much just been wired into the market ever since then.
Wired.
79. That's a run right there, my friend.
Well, no, 79 is when I went on the floor. I started in 83. This August 1st will be 42 years.
Woo. Steve been doing it longer than I've been alive.
I love it, though.
What's crazy is you've seen so many different markets, right? Like you've just seen all the different markets, the different people, the different big players, the different hedge funds and stories along the way.
I've seen everything, dude. I saw a negative 45 oil. I called up, I said to my kids, I'm not filling the pool up. I'm filling it with 24,000 gallons of oil.
Yeah.
I said, I tried to buy oil. They were paying you
to take the oil.
Take oil.
Yeah.
You couldn't. They only could liquidate it. I said, a negative 40 oil. I'm like, are these people crazy? I've seen a lot. He was a clerk making $100 a week in the COMEX, where he would feed orders into his broker. And I took what Steve taught me, and he said to me, when you hit your goal, you stop. And so when I started trading, my goal was to make $100 a day for a week, and then I bumped it up. And then in 1991, I think I made like $1.8 million. And I kept on bumping it up every single week. The way you stop over trading is when you hit your goal, you stop. And you still watch, learn, and listen, like someone like you, right? So if your goal is $500 or $1,000 a day, you're up 2,000 right now, right? So some people should just stop, watch, learn, and listen what you're doing and teaching them.
Yeah.
Right? That's, to me, is wisdom. Here's the biggest problem most traders have: revenge trading.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I do that. You like that trading. Short earlier. You put a short on, and then you're like, fuck. And you get mad, and you're like, I'm gonna put a long on, and then it just chops.
No, you say fuck, and then you want to short them again.
Yeah, or you double down.
You double it
down.
When I was trading equities, when I was going really hot, buy 50,000 shares. So one day, my assistant, I never forget this trade. I said, buy 3,000 Pfizer. He said, 3,000? I said, fucking buy 3,000 Pfizer, like that. So he asked me at the end of the day, he goes, why'd you go from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 shares on your trades to only 3,000? I said, because the mindset is, I want to get back in my groove.
Yeah.
Right? Size
if
down.
You're not seeing it, size
Be
down.
involved and size down.
Okay.
But you don't revenge trade. I work with one of the biggest hedge funds in the world the last few years. And I've seen even those guys, when things are going off a little bit, they size it down.
Yeah.
But they're involved, though.
Yeah.
To me, I think every second that you're in the game is a learning experience. 80 handles off the high. Uncle Steve was telling you, get in there, trying to hint to you.
Uncle Steve.
Right? What I'm talking about. Good job, brother. Good job. Let's go. I spent nearly 10 years of my life building my software, so I'm confident in what I'm doing. Be great at one thing, not good at many.
You hear that, Landon? Be good at one thing, boy. Not everything.
What I love about you and what we do together is that we really give a shit about the person. Most of these people don't give a shit.
If you run a website or you run a chat room and you use a fake name, you don't have no skin in the game. My name is everything, right?
100%.
Once my name is like tarnished past whatever point of repair, what do? You can't make money anymore. It's over.
You're done. It's over.
So it's like, that's always been the biggest thing for me. I feel like at the end of the day, you ask most people, like, yeah, I like Patrick. He's a good guy.
Real.
You're
real.
He's a real guy.
I seen you in person. I see the way you, like I am. We communicate with people. We treat people like we know each other for 30 years. These other people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're molding your son.
Exactly.
And you're
gonna mold him into a little NASDAQ monster.
S&P.
No, NASDAQ monster. Don't worry about Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve says S&Ps. I live by the motto peaks and valleys, right? You go, and sometimes when I'm flying, I'm like, oh shit, okay, a drop's coming somewhere along the line, so get ready.
Oh yeah.
And you got to be ready, and you got to persevere, and you got to have the inner strength. And that's the same thing with trading. You got to persevere. You got to really, like I said, you trade the right patterns, be disciplined, hit your goals for the day, stop, watch, learn, listen from someone like yourself or myself or whoever. But the thing is that it's really about the lessons learned.
A red day is not a failure.
No.
Right? If you follow your plan, you get stopped out, whatever it is, then you're done for the day. Like, hey, you did what you're supposed to do. Right? Every trader's gonna have red days. Every trader's gonna lose. Like, it's just part of it.
So I have a quote back in my office, and the founder of Macy's failed 88 times in his life before he was successful.
Yeah.
Failure makes you stronger. It gives you the ability to see the mistakes you've made. So if you have a bad, shitty trade, go back and look at why you did that stupid fucking
That's
trade.
my favorite.
At night, sometimes I'll go back and I'll just look at some of the patterns I looked at. I'm like, I should let this run a little bit longer, this, that. You're always evaluating yourself.
Yeah. You can have 3 or 4 bad months in a row, and then you can still end at the end of the year and very much in the green if you just follow the plan.
1,000%. I know a guy that came to me, he literally blew up 60 prop accounts.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck's wrong with you? You have to take 10 steps back, stop buying prop accounts, learn, then start buying prop accounts.
I had a guy, he said, Patrick, once I get my first payout, I'm going to buy your course. New trader, he's like, once I get my first payout, I'm going to buy your course. I'm like, but you should buy the course first. He's like, no, I got to get a payout first. I'm like, that's a silly fucking idea.
It's a bad mentality. You got to learn before you can pull the trigger. The big problem that I'm seeing, people are their own worst enemies.
People love to like fight the trend. They love to fight, something simple like, oh man, I'm going to keep shorting at the 700s just because I think it's going to go lower. And it's like, but why? Why do you think it's going to go lower? Just because you have a feeling?
If there's one person who questions me or anything, I'm like, let's go, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's it.
It fires me up. It's like old school, like back in the Bronx, somebody's calling you out.
That's it. Roll up the sleeves,
Let's go.
man. That's it.
Steve's ready. Let's go, baby.
That's it. Get in there.
Great thing about Michael Jordan, right? If you look at his stats, people will never talk about. They'll never talk about all the games that he lost. Never talk about all the points that he missed. When he talked about it, he said, "I've missed more fucking baskets than I've made."
When you're a trader of this caliber or whoever, you have this competitive fire within you. You don't want to be beat. And so when somebody questions you or anything like that, no problem. Let's do it. A lot of naysayers,
Yeah.
People, listen, I posted a video on Instagram. People would like trash me because I have all my screens. You know what?
Oh yeah. The people love that. That's always my favorite. Everyone's like, he's got so many screens.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? But they don't understand what I do. I disseminate among so many information to various different hedge funds, prop firms, family offices. I'm seeing so many things. My algorithms are running. Plus, I'm doing correlation studies. You can't do everything on one screen. So it's not because I want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's how many screens I can have or anything like that. It's something that the good Lord gave me a gift to do.
If I could have, 10 screens with all the different time frames, so that way I'm like, hey, look, that line's up there, that line's up there.
I'll call my guy. He'll do it tomorrow.
Steve's got the guy on speed dial. Crab mentality, right? You put a bunch of crabs in a bucket. One of the crabs is gonna figure out how to get out of there. But what happens? All the other crabs are gonna try to grab onto it and be like, "Where are you going?"
Oh, right.
And pull it back down. They're gonna see you being successful, and they're gonna be like, "Nah," and they're gonna grab. They're gonna pull onto you because they don't want you to win.
So people say to me, I'm trading options. I don't know about futures. Blah blah blah. I'm like, can I ask you a question? Take the word futures out. What if I said let's trade water? Is that gonna calm your fears?
It's something to do with the contracts. People get scared because they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna lose everything." I'm like, "No, bro. Your broker's gonna cut you off before you lose everything."
It's the greatest assets in the world.
Steve, it's been absolutely amazing having you here.
Thank you.
6 years later.
Thank you.
We'll have to definitely do it again. I think everybody had a great time. At one point, we had about 5,300 people watching at one time.
That's
so
awesome.
we're getting it out
I'm really
there.
proud of you, really. I mean it from my heart.
Oof.
Really.
I will give Steve credit. Steve has literally texted me and wished me happy Christmas and holidays for the last 6 years since I met you.
I took a liking to you right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I wish you continued success and happiness, man. Really.
Awesome.
You
Well,
deserve
hey,
it.
if you guys want to learn more, check out Steve.
SKTrading.live.
SKTrading.live. Hit him up. We'll be back tomorrow morning for Fresh Cash Friday, and I'll see you guys later on. Peace to the Middle East. Another day, another dollar here with Steve. Came to the BDH. It's been about 6 years since I went to your office for the first time, and you taught me all about futures. You said, Patrick, you got to pull the trigger. And I was like, Steve, I'm scared. Well, look what 6 years does to you. That's progress. That's life, right? You got to evolve. You got to grow.
But you listened.
I learned the hard way a lot along the way. He's got to kind of ride the waves.
Got to ride the waves.
It's like the market.
More and more people are trading futures like crazy now.
Yeah, never been a better time.
Never been a better time.
There it is, another day at the BDH. Really epic to have Steve here. If you want to check out Steve, it's SK
Trading.live.
There you go. Well, we'll have him back here sooner than later, and hopefully we'll just keep on doing what we're doing.
Thank you, brother. Great seeing you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Steve.